Hello, everybody. Welcome to the AMA Phoenix webinar. We are thrilled to have you all here. My name is Anna Bryce. I am the VP of Communications here at the AMA Phoenix. And we are thrilled to have a terrific presentation today. Increase online sales by creating and protecting a compelling brand. And Nathan Bailey is our speaker. And we will get to the introduction in just a moment. I would like to very quickly thank our sponsors. And again, they help us tremendously in being able to do everything we do here in the marketing community. I would in particular like to point out Financial Potion, Taylor Wellman, who hosts us for all our webinars. If you have video needs, please consider calling Taylor and Financial Potion. And we'd also like to thank our supporters. These are companies who employ our board members, and our board members give so much time to this organization. We can't say enough and thank them enough for all they do, and we appreciate the companies that support them. And so I would like to get right into introducing our speaker, and we have two speakers, really, Nathan Bailey and Michael Gray from Hummingbird. And what we have with Nathan and Michael is an expert who helps businesses build their online brands and their online businesses in Nathan. And Michael is a branding and design expert. So putting those two together, I think we will have a terrific presentation today. So Nathan, without any further delay, welcome, and Michael, welcome. And we are excited to hear what you have to say.
Anna, thanks for inviting me on today. I'm excited to share what I share. I actually have shared a lot of this stuff with thousands of others. We have one of the largest communities in the world that I run. One of my partners of professional online sellers. We've been doing it for 17 years, and we're going to share some of what works today. And what we need to do is we're going to have Mike share his screen here, and we're going to get right into this presentation. I like to just show stuff and kind of take that shotgun approach and, really get right into the meat of things here with what we do, and kind of explain who me and Michael are a little bit more thoroughly, and go over what we're going to be talking about today. Just me first. Go to that next slide there. I actually bring more like 25 years of doing this. I built my first website in 1995. I've worked with some of the top experts in the world. Right now, my partner is Jim Cochran. We have a top 20 podcast in the world and business and marketing on iTunes, and just podcasting in general on Stitcher. But I own the coaching. I'm kind of the guy behind the guy that I see everyone's problems and I solve them. And what we've done and we specialized in over the years is, instead of trying to do marketing, what we do is we just go where the audience already is for that particular niche. So our experience has been selling products online, a lot of physical products, but we even do marketing and campaigns for businesses, services. What I do is I partner with businesses, and I will take their business online everywhere they need to go with a concept that I call the marketing wheel that I'm going to introduce you guys to here today. And Michael is somebody that I've partnered with because he is just a master brand builder with us. And that's what it comes down to, is helping businesses build their brands. I've built a brand where, we've done millions of dollars in sales. I have about 700 different SKUs that we sell online across many, many marketplaces. But Michael helps to put those things together. And Michael, talk a little bit about kind of your experience in your background and how you came into this.
Yeah, so I'm an artist first, who became a designer, and so I really relish sort of interactive design experience, and so everything that we do and everything we create is about creating an experience. And so if you can create an experience with a package, with a print piece, whatever it might be, And so we try to create brands that are experiential and that are memorable so that other people, want to evangelize your brand, right? Like that's really what we like to say is we love it when people wear the t-shirt or wear the hat, right? Like if you're not wearing your t-shirt, wearing your hat, then you really don't love your brand. Like, we have the financial potion background going over here right now. She obviously loves what she's done, and that's awesome. Like that's very important that people embrace, what they're doing and what they're about. And so the who and the what are important, but the why is, very, very important. And we really get into all those aspects of the brand and building the brand.
Awesome, Michael. Let's move on. Let's get right into this. In terms of, move to the next slide here. In terms of, what we're going to cover today, I want to kind of go over these touch points and dive right into it with you. My goal today is just to drop as much gold as I can on you. But as far as trademarks and selling online, we're going to talk about why you have to have a trademark now and proper intellectual property protection moving forward in today's climate. You can run into a lot of problems. If you don't have trademarks or intellectual property, you can't get what is called Amazon brand registry, right? So I use Amazon a lot because Amazon, 50% of all online sales are made on Amazon. My partner and I, Jim Cochran, we created the first course on how to sell on Amazon in the world ever. We were the first ones to do it. And with Amazon, it's changed so much, but I mean, it's taken so much of the market space. 50% of all online sales happen on Amazon. And that's a prime example of going where the traffic's going instead of trying to build something where I'm trying to drive a bunch of traffic to me. We like to hook, hide, and hold our audience from where they hang out in marketplaces. But with brand registry, there are many features that you get on Amazon, like creating A+ content. I'm going to talk about what that is on Amazon, how to differentiate yourself from your competition, and utilize Amazon to convert, even if you're a business that doesn't even sell a physical product. Another thing we want to talk about now, it's so important that brand story gets brought into the mix for what you're doing in your business. We'll talk about that a little bit more. But what I also use is multi-channel marketplaces. I would never advise somebody, oh yeah, go get into Amazon. I mean, it's one of the primary things that people come to me to learn and work with me on. But I teach people, don't put your eggs all in the Amazon basket. Get out there and set up on multi-channel marketplaces and build out more of what is called a marketing wheel. I'm going to show you what that means. I use sales funnels, but I like to go more off of what we call the marketing wheel and what are those spokes in the marketing wheel. I'm going to go into a little bit deeper into that. I'm also going to talk to you guys about using chat bots and social media and how all of that works together with, sites like Amazon and, how you can integrate utilizing Facebook and some new technology there that works to give yourself the ability to build the audience, to build the list, to hook, hide, and hold people and send them where you want them to go and do it in a more automated fashion. Another thing that I'm real big on is actually partnering with businesses. I think one of the most important roles that a marketer is going to have here in the very near future of now, that there are going to be more need for the Amazon expert, or the guy that knows how to build A+ content, or the person that knows how to get the trademark and the brand registry, or the person that knows how to build a website for somebody, or how to build the listings properly on Amazon, or use these marketplaces. That consultative person is going to be a very high demand in the next 10 to 15 years, if not longer, right? But what I do is I have a course that I created called Proven Product Partnering, where it teaches you how to go out, find the businesses, work with them, and make a revenue share on the sales that are made, and manage it without having to, have a ton of overhead expense of going out there and starting, and marketing your own business. You can do it for others. And there are ways that you can leverage other people to do it, even if you're absolutely clueless about how to do it. But most businesses, if you after you go through what I'm going to talk about today, you will know more than 99% of all businesses out there that are going, yeah, I need to do that. I mean, due to the changes to the world of what's happened with COVID, we've seen a 400% increase in our online sales because people are not going out to the store anymore. The baby boomer generation has figured out, yep, I'm going to have to use Amazon now and buy stuff online. Our fourth quarter from this last year didn't end. It's still happening 8 months and 9 months into the year now. So another thing that we're going to talk about is our story. And we talk a lot about the story within branding because that's really what people connect themselves to. People want to connect themselves to your story. If you have that story, that's what creates what one of my mentors and someone that I worked with for a lot of years, name was Abraham. It's the strategy of preeminence, getting people to not just like you, that they absolutely love you and they only want to do business with you. Even though you might even be more expensive or maybe even not as good as this other product, they would rather work with you. And just, we're going to talk a little bit about our story and with Humnbird and what we do as a company and how we, have this altruistic mission as to, how many people that we can actually help elevate their business, their brand, and literally change their life and almost kind of run it more like a ministry than a business. So let's move on to this number one here, talk about trademark. Now, Michael, you actually found this. We found this from the American Marketing Association. This was the definition of what a brand is. They define a brand as a name, a term, a design, a symbol, or any other feature that identifies one seller's good or service as a distinct from those of other sellers. So the legal term for brand is a trademark, right? A brand may identify one item, a family of items, or all items of that seller. So in terms of getting a trademark, this is why trademarks, where in the past, it wasn't important or as important. It's always been important to protect your business, but with selling online, even more so, because Amazon, in order to get brand registry and protect your brand and keep people from, counterfeiting you or infringing on your intellectual property, right, or copycatting you, you get trademarked, and then you're able to set up the brand registry on Amazon that protects you, right? So utilizing that trademark, before you set up a trademark, you have to make sure that things are in place. You have to make sure that it's available. You have to make sure that it's actually something that can be trademarked. So let's move on to the next slide, which explains a lot of these reasons why trademarks, if you're building a brand, I would say right now, even if you don't even have your brand built, get it going now, because it takes 6 months to get a trademark done is what we're seeing on average, right? So, and it may even start taking longer to get trademarks done, because China right now is flooding the US Patent and Trademark Office here in the US with a bunch of broad-faced trademarks trying to flood the market, right? So you have to make sure that things are available. I'm not going to trademark something that I don't know that I can't get the actual domain name and make sure that that's available. In fact, we had to help one business, Zen and Tonic. She had, her business was Zen Plus Tonic, right? But it was taken. It was by a band. Some band that was the name of their band. And it would create buyer confusion. If you can't get the domain name, the .com, you may not want to bolt down to that particular trademark, right? You have to think these things through. There, another thing too is being what is called merely descriptive. You can't trademark something that's descriptive of something. We tried to trademark a business, a private label product that we built called Carpet Spot Markers, right? We're doing, $40,000 and $50,000 in sales a month, and we couldn't trademark the name of it because you can't trademark the word carpet because it's merely descriptive of something, right? So you have to make sure that your brand name, you're bolting down to the right thing. If you're going to spend the money to trademark something, right, and bolt down to that brand name, you need to be, very careful and make sure that you have the right brand strategy before you do that. Like, for instance, you don't want to create buyer confusion. I've seen many brands where they have a brand name that's kind of a common thing. And hey, there's 10 other people out there that have thought of the idea. And even though it's not trademarked, you can still trademark it, but you're going to run into someone typing in that name. And if somebody has it and it's a completely different product than what yours is, it creates buyer confusion, and they don't know how to find you or if that's really you or not. So you have to make sure that you can differentiate yourself so that people, know exactly, or there's no confusion about it, and you're going to be able to show up on page one because of that, right? Another thing too is getting out there when you file a trademark, before you file that trademark, is to claim all the web properties. Do you have the, Facebook for, do you have the like page for Facebook that you can get that same name and someone else doesn't already have it? Can you get the YouTube? So when you figure out what you want to bolt down to for your trademark, before you actually take it to an attorney, which we advise you take it to an attorney. We actually have an attorney that we've partnered with that we do trademarks for people. And, he's the one that has the final say because this is a legal service. You should not be actually doing trademarks for your clients if you have clients, right? But as far as the different terminologies that you need to know about, if you're taking a client and you're trying to sell their product on Amazon, and if you do it without trademark and brand registry, your listings are going to get hijacked. You're going to get some momentum. Someone's going to hijack you and you're just going to completely have to start all over. It's a huge hassle, and you want to avoid it at 100%. You want to actually claim that property, right? And when you're filing a trademark, there are two ways that you have to file it. There's what is called first in use, meaning that you are first in use in interstate commerce, right? That you actually have a product with your word mark name on the product. We could take a picture of that product and provide it to an inspector at the US Patent and Trademark Office, right? That means you're already in use on the product. That has a cheaper filing fee for doing that. But if you don't already have your product ready to go, that's not a problem. We can file it that you intend to use that trademark and still get the trademark registration for intend to use, but eventually you have to come back and provide what you put that word mark on that you're trying to protect. It can be a word mark, just a word, or it can be a image mark. For Amazon and e-commerce, I don't recommend saying get the image mark and the word mark on the same registration. I recommend just getting the word at first. You can add things to your registration as you go. And that's kind of the whole mentality of our brand building business, Humnbird, that we have, right? We have a couple different things that we do because, we either can do it for you or we can teach you how to do it for yourself, but we don't want to be an agency. That's what we decided. No, we don't want to be an agency because agencies are out to try to sell. We got to sell, right? And they're like, oh yeah, 10 grand to retain us and, $1,500 a month or this or that. What we want to do is provide people what they need when they need it. At what stage of the game are you at? But the first thing that I look at is, are they trademarked, right? Do they have a trademark? Because that's kind of the starting point. And if they're not, hey, let's get that going now, right? It wouldn't stop me from actually launching their product or their brand, but that's become, in the last 5 years, way more important than it was before that, because I was seeing people just slap whatever up on a brand, on a label, just the worst logo you've ever seen, the worst branding. And when I met Michael Gray, it was some time ago, and I was like, man, I'm just seeing people put garbage brands on stuff and they're selling like crazy. So branding is dead. And boy, did I find out how wrong I was, right? Branding is now more important than ever in terms of, building something that people are going to like, know, and trust, that you're going to be able to have preeminence with, where they're going to want to wave your brand flag. So before bolting down to a trademark, let's make for certain that it is the right thing to bolt down, that you can get all the properties, that you're not going to run into all these problems after the fact. I've seen people trademark things wrong, and if you don't do a certain way for Amazon and it doesn't match up, you won't get to use the brand registry, and then there's no way you can protect yourself from all kinds of problems, not just counterfeiting, not just people stealing your images, right? But a whole other plethora of major problems that are the make or break in any business, in my opinion. Let's go to the next slide, Michael, and move forward here on this. As far as the trademark and how it relates to Amazon, and I'm going to get Amazon centric here with you guys because this seems to be where the vast majority of business is going, and it's not an easy business. But by knowing the things that I'm about to show you, you're going to be able to guide your own business and or other people's businesses that you may be working with from a consultative standpoint, right? But brand registry with Amazon. Brand registry is a feature that Amazon just created, right, in the last couple years, that gives you the ability, if you're building a brand or a product, to put your product on Amazon and lock it down and actually protect it. Because I can go into any listing on Amazon and say, you know what, Amazon, I think this would be a better image for this product. I'm submitting to you that this is a better image that's more relative to this catalog, or this is a better title or a description or bullets. And it could be completely wrong, and it would completely hijack the listing. You know, the people that work at Amazon, you know, you got your $12 an hour, you know, person that's like just button smashing on the other end that doesn't really pay attention, right? So there are people out there that's all they do is hijack competitors' listings. If you're not brand registered on Amazon, someone could come along and just completely hijack all your listing, get it removed, totally mess you up, so that all that progress and momentum you gained is now gone. If you put a listing of your own branded product on Amazon and you don't have it brand registered and trademarked, you're just asking for trouble now. It's not a matter of if you get hijacked, it's when. Then you have to also deal with the other people that are counterfeiters or copycatters, or people that, let's say you've built a significant brand where I had a client actually that built a significant brand but never sold on Amazon. They were just a huge distributor, right, of their product. We actually caught Amazon counterfeiting buying our product, our brand, not from us, but counterfeited. We had to go tell Amazon, hey, you're selling our product that's counterfeited, right? But we had no way of actually proving that, right? Now, some of the things that brand registry actually allows, there are some great features. There's a feature that's called A+CONTENT. This is something that Michael and I specialize in. What it is it gives you the ability to do more than just put your listing on Amazon and put the pictures and the title and the bullets and the description. It gives you the ability to really put a really nice graphical presentation of a description into the listing so that you have all of your features, your benefits, your bullet points, your calls to action, you know, your lifestyle photography, your infographic images really laid out in a very high end professional way within the listing, which creates a higher conversion on what you've got there in Amazon, right? It also gives you the ability to put a video in the listing. You can add a video right there where the images are. It also gives you the ability to create what is called an Amazon store. So it's like having your own website on Amazon that you can direct people to so they don't see other people's products but yours. So we create Amazon stores and really create beautiful stuff that, you know, really enhances the brand. But on top of that, you know, not just adding video or A+CONTENT, but it actually gives you the ability to do what is called sponsored brand advertising. And this is brand new, where if you've seen Amazon and you look, the first 4 listings at the top are going to be the sponsored ads. Well, this new, you can actually run an ad for your entire brand, for your whole line of products at the very top, which puts you in the very first position. And there's not a lot of brands doing it. So there's less competition. So the cost of ad spend to do that is a lot cheaper, right? Compared to just being in the regular sponsored ads that Amazon provides to just anybody, whether you're brand registered or not. But it also gives you the ability to do a sponsored brand video ad down below within the other listings and products that are the other competitors as well. So being brand registered gives you quite a bit of benefit in terms of you know, having this brand registry dashboard. I mean, I had a client that came to us and he's selling, you know, a great little product, but I mean, it's one that he does 1,000 units a day, and people are coming in and copycatting and counterfeiting his product, and he can't prove that they're using his counterfeit or his brand without his permission, that they're using his intellectual property on his same listing, and he can't get them off. Now, having brand registry doesn't mean that you can just remove people from a listing, right? But if they're selling a product with your word mark on it, you can go right into this brand registry dashboard and report them right there, and boom, it removes them. Not always the best way. If you can reach out to them first and be real friendly about it and not get their whole Amazon account shut down because they're infringing on your intellectual property, you can do it right. That's the best way to do it. But at the same time, you can put yourself in a position where you can just remove people and not have those problems without having to go through an attorney to do it, right? Although having an attorney to help you manage your portfolio, I can't recommend it more. You know, it's because you know what? Nobody out there that looks you up that's going to knock you off. If they look up and you have a trademark and you have an actual attorney on record, the attorney of record on that trademark filing, they're not going to want to mess with you. They're going to know, oh, this guy didn't just do his trademark. If there's so many things that can go wrong trying to do it yourself, right? So if it's not your wheelhouse, find somebody else who knows how to do it for you, and don't spend all that time trying to figure out yourself, because the cost of having someone do it for you is costing you way less than the time factor. Your time is your most valuable asset. You can get money back. You cannot get time back. So always be very aware of that in just all of this. A+ content allows you to just better tell your brand story in general, not just protect you, you know, with brand registry. But one thing I will say is that it's very telling of a business that I would much rather do business with a business that's brand registered and has A+ content on Amazon, knowing that they take their business seriously, because that's what Amazon's looking at, is that that you're willing to go to the length of getting a trademark and brand register your brand, that you're going to be less apt to get suspended because of that. It's real easy to get suspended on Amazon if you don't know the rules, right? But you know, it's just people are just going to take your business more serious overall, right? I think the act of doing it in your own business, even if you're starting out, you know, if you have the right idea, you have a name of something that you've thought of, you know, the filing fee is $225 to file a trademark. You know, attorneys vary, right? It can be anywhere. I've seen it as low as $750 and up as high as, you know, 10 grand, depending on what you need to mark. You need to make sure it's marked under the right classes. That's why you want to get an attorney involved. Mike, let's go on to the next slide. I want to run through this because I have a lot of information for you guys, and we'll do some Q&A here. But I want to really get through everything that we prepared, and I sometimes have the habit of being a little long-winded here. But Michael, this is a client and that we work with, right? His name is Joel. He and his wife have adopted two boys that are Down syndrome, right? And he's a coaching client of mine. And this is kind of how the business works: is they buy our course, okay? They find out, go back to that slide there, Michael. There we go. They buy our course, right? And then we become good friends. And then they signed up for our training and coaching program. And then we coached them on how to build the business, right? When I first met him, he was doing like $7,000, $8,000 a month in sales, right? Now he's doing about 50 grand a month. But his story, what I found, was so compelling that I was like, I want to partner with you just because of his story, because he's building a business that he can basically pass on to his handy capable children. Because what are they going to do when they grow up, and what are they going to become? And he wants to build a business. In fact, in his business, and we work together, we have handy capable people that work with us to package, prep, you know, get things ready for shipping, you know, stuff envelopes, different things like that for us to you know, be part of the manufacturing and the selling of the business. I love that about this business, because the progress of me working with Joel, now we become good friends, became a student. Now we've decided to partner, and now we make a revenue share on his business. And there's a team of us, Michael included, that what we do is we work with Joel, because Joel's a one guy show, plus, you know, his boys and the other help that he has, but he doesn't have marketing help like we do. So what we do is we provide all the things that aren't in his wheelhouse so that he can focus on what he's building, his line, building his brand. But we're building packaging. We're building A+ content for him for his Amazon business. We're working to get his product in GameStop. We're working to get his product on Walmart, on eBay, and it's just such a huge undertaking that you know, a business owner, you know, needs to focus on not working in their business. They need to focus on working on their business. But I would say their most important tool in their business needs to be their brand story. Like I said, people want to connect themselves to a brand, and so the shortest distance between you and any relationship that you want, whether it be a customer or a client or you know, an influencer or whatever the case may be, the shortest distance between you and that relationship is a story, right? And that's what we do, is we create stories in our branding. In fact, Michael, go to the next slide. So for some of you may be into ad copy and copywriting, right? people have commented and left reviews. Here's a segment of some of the A+ content that we created for him in his business, right? That tells the story just in the title caption. This is our dragon story, our dragon lore, right? Everything's dragon grips with this brand, his business name. I mean, he built the logo. His kids came up with the name of the brand, but we keep in that knights and dragons and story branding, where the product is forged by our family, crafted by the handy capable, built to last through the ages, to help you hold on to the things that you love. What it is, it's a grip product. It goes on game controllers, it goes on cell phones, it goes on your tumbler, it goes on anything that you need to get a grip on, right? This is a bootstrapped business that we've built to, we'll have it by the end of fourth quarter. This business will be doing over $100,000 in sales. And around the first of the year, it was only doing about 8 to 10, right? So using that story and getting people connected to the brand and hooking and hiding and holding those customers back in to our fold so that we can get them to come back and buy again and again and again, and really use that story to build preeminence. I can tell you that the end result of everything that you're trying to do, whether it be in business, in life, is it revolves around a relationship. As humans, man is not meant to be alone. We want to belong to something. We want to be part of something, right? There is a very altruistic human nature sense that we have. We don't want to buy something. We don't want to part with our money. Are you crazy? No, we want an experience. We want an experience, and we're willing to pay for it, right? How do we convey that experience? And Michael, go to the next slide, and I want you to talk a little bit about this in terms of where do people go with me here in the experience. I mean, how many different clients have you and I interviewed to work with together? Hundreds, almost into the thousands.
Yeah, several hundred at this point. I mean, so these stories, what's really fun about this business is really hearing the stories. And we really get the opportunity, what Nate talks about often is, we get to help moms and dads come home. And so we get to have people who normally, would work their day job, and then they find this business and they find autonomy, they find, freedom. And so as we go through this process with them, we get to know more about them. We're able to convey that story often to the people who buy their products, and they just, I can't even tell you, like some of the emails and that we get in texts and Facebook, comments and stuff. They really love this family, the Dragon Grips family. And they're just like, they encourage you. They're like, keep up the good work and keep going. And so it's, it becomes something where they become your evangelist. They become your cheerleader. And when that happens, a whole nother level of, communication and, transaction takes place.
It's a relationship thing. Once again, it all revolves around relationships. How do we foster and make those relationships better? But here's the key. I talk about going where the traffic is. This illustration is what I call the marketing wheel, right? So anybody, I don't care, anybody that's listening to this or watching this, I call these different spokes in the marketing wheel. You can see Amazon, one of my main spokes, but it's only one spoke in my marketing wheel. I use Walmart as a spoke in the marketing wheel. I use eBay, I use Facebook, I use YouTube, Instagram, some Shopify, Etsy, Google Shopping, Pinterest, some influencers, WooCommerce for a website, right? And so, instead of a funnel, what I'm doing is I'm building out a marketing wheel that gains momentum. People will go down and drop out in the funnel, and and where does it go after that? With a marketing wheel, we build momentum. So you don't have to build all these marketplaces at once. But let me ask this question. I'm going to do a poll right here. How many people here sell on any of these marketplaces? Not just a website, but using maybe even ClickFunnels is one that probably needs to go here on the marketing wheel as well. But do this here, just check these boxes here that's popped up on this poll here. On do you sell on any of these marketplaces, right? And what I wouldn't recommend is to put yourself in a position where you are, just selling on one. You're putting all your eggs in one basket. If you're a consultant and you have clients, definitely help them to diversify. That's why this business, it's not that difficult to learn how to do it. It's actually pretty easy. In fact, as of right now, you probably know more off of listening to what I've had to say today than 99% of all businesses now out there that are clamoring and realizing, man, due to this change in the world and COVID, I better get my business online, right? I better start using the internet creatively to generate revenue or sell products online, right? And so I recommend, looking at your business, right? And looking at it in terms of what are the spokes in your marketing wheel and how are you using each spoke in the marketing wheel creatively to build brand presence, right? Even if, Walmart is only about 5 to 10% of our total sales, hey, we'll take it. And, it's good to be diversified in case, someone comes along and starts undercutting you on Amazon. Oh, well, hey, over here the key is to get established, get a foothold in your niche, and then get a mile ahead of your competition, right? Utilizing the marketing wheel strategy. What are the spokes in your marketing wheel? If you do anything actionable today, think about it. Pull out maybe your business journal if you use one. I use a business journal. Take that whole sheet of page, draw a circle on it, put a dot in the middle, and then start diagramming out what are the spokes in your marketing wheel for your business, right? They could be completely different spokes than what I've got illustrated here, but to really identify that and visualize that, I've usually found that was a really important marketing tool when either building out brands and building out launch strategy for either my own products or other people that are hiring me to help them. So Mike, let's go on to the next slide. I don't want us to run out of time. I want us to get through everything that we want to present today. So a couple recommendations that I'm going to give to you guys. So if you're selling on multiple marketplaces, Amazon, eBay, Walmart, maybe you're on Etsy, maybe you're on, you have a website, this tool right here, Listing Mirror, integrates with just about everything. And you can actually have all of your inventory. You can have everything synchronized across all marketplaces on eBay and know what your inventory is so you don't run out of inventory or have everything just listed everywhere and accidentally sell and run out of inventory and make sales on eBay or Walmart that you can't fulfill. Because if you do that, you're going to get shut down. They're going to turn off your eBay account, right? So I use Listing Mirror to manage all my multi-channel selling across all platforms. Another thing that I use is a tool that I actually had developed for me. It's a company called IntegraShip that I actually own. What this is it's like ShipStation, right? And it's a multi-channel shipping tool. The cool thing about it is it's free, costs you nothing, right? I built it just so I could use it I have a warehouse where people send me their inventory that we're doing all their branding and marketing, but they actually have me store their inventory and have my team ship the products directly to their customers for them across the multiple channels. Like if it makes a sell on eBay and Amazon or Walmart.com, all those sales come into one shipping platform where you can print out the shipping label and ship it out very easily. It gives you a great discount shipping rate, much like ShipStation actually, but it's free. ShipStation has a fee, IntegraShip does not. That's something that you can have there. So two very cool tools that I use for when I'm doing multi-channels. That's what I do for businesses. I set up their multi-channel selling strategy so that when I'm making sales across all these channels, we have a chance to capture the customer's data. This is where it gets really good. Again, it might get a little bit more technical and deep for you guys to understand. But as far as capturing the data and building that list and being able to hook, hide, and hold the customer by leveraging these marketplaces that are, Amazon, eBay, it's the lowest cost marketing expense to get something online and actually be seen on page one, right? It is the cheapest marketing cost of any marketing tool I've been able to find for selling online, right? In fact, we have about 600,000 people in our list for our training program. We've got about 61,000 people in our Facebook group. We've sold millions and millions and millions of products and services, right? And we've never, ever pulled a dime out of our pocket once to buy a Google ad spend, Facebook ads, any of that stuff. We're actually starting to do it, and we actually more use ads just to test keywords to see what keywords are due. But we do everything based off of organic and relevant content. Go to the next slide, Mike. And with the organic stuff, like for instance, using Facebook, right? There is a tool called ManyChat, right? And this is how we'll do it. We'll use ManyChat. What ManyChat does is it automates conversations and relationship building on Facebook, and you can actually build a list. It's referred to as a chat bot, right? And it's for taking people and saying, hey, I do this. Want to try it? I'll let you try it for 80% off, right? And just type the keyword win in the comments below to enter. So you make a post. You can even run an ad for that post, right? It has to be on your like page, right? And this chat bot connects to it, and it's actually free to start out with it. Go to manychat.com, sign up, and watch their videos and learn how to use it. But what happens is they type win in the comments below, and what it does is it automatically sends them a direct message through Facebook Messenger, right? And it says, hey, you want to get this for free? Cool. I just wanted to verify that you want to do it. So it double opts them in, type win again or push the button below to verify that you want access to this. And then it takes them down to a series of follow-up questions and or a follow-up sequence that says, hey, to do this, to get the 80% off, the first step is to go to my website and put your name and email address, and it will automatically email you an Amazon gift card that will give you the ability to go and get this product for 80% off, right? So what it's doing is it's collecting the customer data before we actually send them over to Amazon, because when you sell something on Amazon, that's not your customer. That's Amazon's customer. They want your communication with that buyer to be very limited. They are not going to let you do certain things. And so what I want to do is I want to collect that customer data first before I send them off to Amazon to buy, so it pumps my listing on Amazon and gets my listing ranked on Amazon, right? Or I could even have them come back to the website and buy there as well. But, Michael, you've got this misspell here, driving gold traffic. That traffic is like gold, but it's called cold traffic. Cold traffic strategy, go back, Mike, to that. Cold traffic strategy is when we're running an ad on Facebook and trying to push them to our offer. Maybe it's an offer for a physical product, a information product, your service, a free call, something, anything, right? But you can run this traffic to your offerings, but you can use chat bots to almost gamify the offering and even ask a bunch of questions and poll your audience and vet them out a little bit before you fully bring them into the funnel and give. Because in this world, in marketing, you have to give to get. You have to give something to get something, right? But once I have them in my fold, here's the thing. Here's why it's more powerful. Not only do I have them over in my email list too, right? It's kind of a backup to Facebook, but I can still communicate with this person through Facebook. Okay. Facebook Messenger, if you send a Facebook Messenger, 90% open rate is what you get when they open up a message, right? On Facebook, right? Through Facebook Messenger. You send somebody an email, you're only going to get maybe a 20 to 30% open rate, right? But hey, I'll take it. Mike, move on to the next slide, because I kind of want to move into this and have you tell the Harry the Hummingbird story. But really quickly, going back to what I was saying, there's a ton of opportunity, not just doing this stuff for your own business, but for other businesses. We actually offer a training program on how to do it, but going out there and specializing in something, it's not something new, being a consultant for businesses, but I feel like that there is such a massive gap right now in this particular niche. I have a course on it if you want to go deeper on it. And in fact, add me as a friend on Facebook. I'm happy to answer all your questions about any of it and pull back the curtain for you and show you what me and Michael do. But what we do is we product with businesses that are absolutely clueless on how to do it themselves. and they'll give me anywhere from 15 to 25% revenue share. Not only can I teach you how to do it for your own business, but even better, and maybe they'll have me back on for some more training on just that, but even better, you can actually partner with us. Don't know how to do it, clueless, but know somebody that needs this. Yeah, okay, bring it with us and help us manage the project, and you make a revenue share of what we can produce in return for that business. That model will be one of the best marketing models moving forward, I would say, for the next 20 to 30 years. And marketing and business has changed more in the last 10 years than it has in the last 100. And so this is the way forward for marketers, in my opinion. Mike, move on. Let's go in deeper here real quick. We don't want to go too long-winded here. Take a look at proven product partnering, learn how to become a referral partner, not just with Humnbird, but maybe we could refer someone to you in your service. I know there's an attorney on here that does trademarks. We have a lot of trademarks coming at us. We always need partners that specialize in different marketing strategies that we can refer our clients to. It works as a big cooperative. We work together in co-opetition, and you can provide more service overall. Mike, go on to the next slide here. Let's move into a little bit more about our story. But really quickly, if you refer something to us, we average about 12% for the life of the client. So if a client comes to us and you said you just referred them over to us, right? And it's a business that we were able to take them to $1 million a month in sales. Well, of the revenue share that we make, you would make 12% of that. That's kind of what we do on your end. So there's an opportunity there. If you want to talk to us about it, we're happy. We'll give you a free consultation. There's a link that you can go to. But Mike, share a little bit. Now, you guys are probably going, Humnbird, what is Humnbird? We want to share our brand story. And this is the model of our business. This kind of goes to the core of the DNA of our business and what we do as marketers. Mike, you're muted.
This is deeply kind of personal to me. So this is an experience that I had. I was out on a walk, and I was with my 3 chihuahuas, and we were out on a walk, and we were walking, and all of a sudden I saw this little like puffy puffball thing. I don't know if you guys have ever seen a baby hummingbird. It's pretty amazing. They're really tiny. And I saw this cat it was actually a black cat kind of approaching this little fluffy thing, and it looked like it had bad intentions. And so I walked up to it and I realized, oh, this is a bird, and put it in my hand. It was so tiny, and I was just like, wow, this is right at that moment. I just felt like, I'm its only hope. Right. And so, so I grabbed, this little bird, and I brought it back. And at the time I had a business called Sawgrass Shack. And so I had my own little shack in the back of my house because I didn't want to, rent a glass and granite building. I wanted to have my own autonomy, at home. And so I brought the hummingbird in there, and I named him Harry the hummingbird. I like, alliteration. And, realized very quickly that I have to take care of this bird. First I got online like everybody does, and it's like, is it even legal to have a hummingbird? And so I started going down that whole road of how do I, take care of this bird? How do I protect it? Quickly found out that, there's a sugar water thing that you can create, and you don't have to go to Home Depot. And in fact, don't go to Home Depot. Don't use that red sugar water stuff. It's actually not good for the hummingbird. And found out, 1 part, sugar, 4 parts water, and you can make amazing hummingbird feeder, nectar. And so I became basically the daddy, the mommy of this bird, Harry. And I got this little, dropper, and realized, if you see in that picture in there, that, actually you can't just like, drop it off and have them drink from it. You have to actually have the bird stick its beak inside the little teeny dropper and with its little tongue, and it drinks the nectar. And, I don't know why I didn't know that, but I didn't know that. And so quickly, I would be feeding this bird, and, every day, and then having my family feed it, my mother-in-law feed it. and all this stuff. And I'd have clients coming over and, you know, sitting down, and all of a sudden this thing would fly over and like right in front of their faces, and they'd be like, oh my gosh, what's that? And like, you know, try to swat at it, and realize, you know, I said, no, don't do that. That's Harry. He's the hummingbird. Don't touch him. And so I had to protect, you know, Harry all the way along the way. And you know, we went on and did this for, you know, several months. And, you know, finally one day my son, you know, being a teenage kid, went in, opened up the door, left it open, and Harry flew away. And the cool thing is Harry actually came back several times, which they do actually, and flew in front of my face, and I knew it was Harry and all this kind of stuff. But really the story became really, you know, what we are as about Humminbird, because we're really a nurturing company. We're about nurturing, as Nathan mentioned. We're not an agency where we're trying to get your money and all this kind of stuff. We're really trying to nurture you through the process. And of course there's costs for deliverables, but we try to make that something that you can, you know, bite off on. Just like Harry, you know, if I would have given Harry too much nectar, he probably would have died, right? Like I had to give him just a little bit. And so what we like to say at Humminbird is that we help our birds, our clients, create, protect, and nurture their brands online so they can fly. And so just like Harry flew that day, he went away and flew away, he was ready to fly. We like to do that with our clients. So not only are we providing those resources and, you know, the nurturing and the mentorship along the way, we love to see our clients go off on their own and have huge success. And Nathan, maybe you could talk a little bit about that, some of the bigger case studies in terms of, you know, Death Wish Coffee is an obvious one. So
yeah, we blow up Death Wish Coffee. We got him a Super Bowl commercial. That might be another story for another time. But yeah, he entered a competition with Intuit, and our whole community got behind it and voted for it. Now, guys, I want to jump right into Q&A though on this. You know, we could sit here and tell stories all day, but I want to kind of learn more about your story, what your needs are, any questions that you guys have, so that we can answer questions here, because we do need to wrap up real soon here.
Excellent. Thank you, guys. Yes, we did get a couple questions that came through. One of them is, you know, you spoke the importance of trademarks for working with Amazon. Do you feel it's important for a business beyond Amazon to focus on their trademarks, and why?
Absolutely, because having that intellectual property protects you on every marketplace. Import export issues, and you know, it's just, you know, it's not just for Amazon. It's what you do when you have a professional business, really, to protect your business. You know, you never know. You could be doing something out there and not even realize you're infringing on someone else's intellectual property and get in trouble for that, right?
It's a good point, definitely. And you know, some companies here, they maybe don't have a product to sell, they're selling services. Is Amazon or other marketplaces a place to sell, or really is social media the platforms and the channels that the service-based businesses should be focusing on?
You know, Amazon, so look at it this way. How do I use Amazon in my business? Okay, I have a product that we sell, every superfood that you could possibly imagine. All right, well, I'm going to create the compelling piece of information that I put into Kindle, right? The KDP platform that talks about superfoods, your authoritative guide to superfoods, and give that away for free in KDP. But inside that PDF, it links back to all my products that I sell on Amazon. You can use it for more than just selling products, you know?
Yeah, I think most of us don't think that really. You know, we think, okay, Amazon is where I go to buy, you know, a new lawn chair or, you know, something like that. So that's really good. So do you think all businesses should look to sell their products and services online moving forward, whether it's only one product or more?
You know, it depends on the business, because every business has a different entrepreneurial fingerprint and system and process and standard operating procedures. But I just can't think of a business that couldn't benefit from utilizing the internet creatively in some way to serve their audience or community or generate revenue with their business.
Excellent. And then you were saying, are you building your email list from the customers in these online marketplaces and the social media chat bots, and then continuing to nurture and communicate with them via email campaigns?
Always. See, it's how good of a relationship you have with that customer or person will define how good of it's like serving people. How well you serve, the level of how well you serve is how much you're worth and what you'll get paid. Every dollar you've ever made is just a certificate of appreciation for doing a good job, right? So we send out insert cards with our product. We actually, one of the things we do is we make people an insert card that says, hey, if you're happy with our service, please go give us a 5-star review, right? But if you weren't happy before leaving a review, please let us know and we will always make it right. Also, if you want a 20% discount on your next purchase, go back to our website and put your name in here and you'll get a nice discount code. I'm always trying to hook, hide, and hold people from these marketplaces back into my own fold that I control.
Excellent. I have one other question here. Oh, what was that, Nathan?
You can do it without breaking like Amazon's policy or eBay's policy or Facebook policies. It's really the most important thing is compliance.
Yes, definitely. They will shut you down with no warning if you are not compliant with them. That is for sure. So my last question is, you really talked on how the fastest way to build that relationship is through a story. So just give the audience a few ideas of what makes a good brand story.
Here's one. If you go to pickmikebrown.com, the story of that right there. So Mike Brown is one of our clients. He owns Death Wish Coffee. We did a mastermind with us and we helped blow up his business. He's the #1 best-selling coffee in the world on Amazon, better than Folgers, better than, anyone you've ever heard, right? You might have heard of the brand. Well, they did if you go to pickmikebrown.com, there's nothing promotional there or anything like that, but it tells the story of how my partner and I, we got behind it. We got our whole community, our whole tribe behind it. He entered a competition with Intuit to win a Super Bowl commercial. This is about 4 years ago. Okay. And we had our whole community get behind it and tell the story. And he won the Super Bowl commercial from Intuit. He literally had a Super Bowl commercial on the Super Bowl you're talking about a multi-million-dollar commercial because of our audience and our community. That community story is just incredible. But not only that, we drove him. He won Entrepreneur of the Year for the state of New York twice now. So there's a cool brand story. I think that the brand story of how it connects with the person that's buying, it's like, my wife and I are involved in rescue. We've rescued thousands and thousands of dogs and cats, right? And we work with best friends, but we'll attach that, hey, a portion of proceeds of our products goes to this organization. People love that story. And that's why they'll have preeminence with you. People do not buy for your reasons. They buy for their reasons.
The more authentic, the better. Like the Joel Golden story, it's deeply personal to him. And other people can see that and feel that, in everything we do with it.
It's like a song that you listen to. You're like, yeah, I've had my heart broken like that. I can connect with that song. Right. People connect with it that way.
Excellent. And so if people wanted to hear more, how can they get a hold of you?
You know what? Whoa, there it is. If you want to, we'll do a free strategy session with you and just go over it. We're not going to give you a sales pitch at all. In fact, that's the way I think to do business is to not sell. If you find yourself selling yourself, there's nothing wrong with selling, but I think that the world's changed. Sales and marketing has changed a lot in the last 10 years, more so than it has even in the last 100. But I think having a strategy session with Michael and I, and because I can't give you information that's specific to your business, your brand, what I would do if we could take a look at it and say, okay, this is what we recommend. And if there's one piece of direction out of that you get that you could take and it blows up your business, hey, that just makes us look good and it gives us the opportunity to build a relationship. So that to us is always the core in the culture of our business. Culture eats business strategy for breakfast.
Yes, definitely. Well, thank you so much again, you guys. This was so much great information. Hannah, are you on with us still?
I think so. Can you hear me, Taylor?
I can.
Okay, so I was just having a heart attack, everyone, because my computer was freezing up. I had to get out of Zoom, get back into Zoom. So I'm glad you can hear me. Thank you very much, Nathan and Michael. That was awesome information. And again, we all need to walk away from here remembering to create, protect, and nurture your brand and then your brand online, much like the Hummingbird story. So thank you very much for the information. And we will get this presentation to everybody when we send out the video and presentation. So thank you, gentlemen. We really appreciate you being with us today.
Thank you.
And we just want to real quick remind you of the upcoming events. So the most or the closest upcoming event is Thursday, October 8th, Catherine DeBoer from West Group Research, Trends in Market Research and the State of Survey Data Collection. So please be sure to join us, put that on your calendar. And I wanted to mention one other special event that AMA National is having Marketing Week that same week. So Tuesday of that week, we are going to have the DEI Imperative Fundamentals for Marketers with Jessica Delgado. And DEI is diversity, equity, and inclusion. And of course, this is a really big topic and issue today in marketing. I think that's a really great session to make sure you put on your calendar as well. But thank you, Nathan. Thank you, Michael. And everyone, thank you for joining us. We hope to see you again at our next events. And we will get this presentation and all the information to you as soon as possible. Have a nice day, everyone. Enjoy the remainder of your day, and we will see you again soon. Thanks.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.